Solace, A Rainbow Quest AU by FC Princess X. Narrated by Enigma Glacier. Part 7. Sleep deprivation. It's fun, isn't it? As soon as my head had hit the pillow, I was out like a light. Or torch. Ugh. Still was awkward to use that expression with my new identity and everything, even if it was years later. I had reluctantly told Time to manage my rounds for me, since I was tired. I knew if I had protested against it, Time would have just straight up picked me up and plopped me in bed anyways. He did that once, and I learned swiftly that he wouldn't put up with me not sleeping like how I should, even if he still had trouble remembering who he was in the past. Stubborn guy had enough memory to sit on me to make me stay in bed. A short knock at my door stirs me from my light sleep, and I yawn softly, promptly realizing that I had somehow ended up severely tangled in a warm prison of my cape and bedsheets. I groan softly and try to free myself, but only manage to get tangled even further. Not again, I mumble to myself as I huff indignantly and just lay on my side.
Captain Light, I'm sorry to bother you, but the Red Leader is here to see you.
A rose guard calls through the door, and I groan internally. Well, M was awake, but I knew if he saw me like this, he'd not let me live it down. Especially not after the fishing incident.
Give me a minute, I'm a little preoccupied with something at the moment. Ugh.
I called back and tried to free myself from my resistant bedsheets. I struggle with them for another minute before I give up trying to fight them.
Why were bedsheets so strong?
Need a little help, Light? I glance over my shoulder to see M and the Rose Guard standing near the door, both looking at me. M had a solemn look on his face, though. Maybe it was just his tiredness. I sighed and nodded, then attempted to sit up. It seemed almost every night now that I got tangled up in my bedsheets. I couldn't pin down the reason why, but maybe it was because I always felt cold since Saber and I fought over the darkness. I really missed him now, Saber. His laugh and smile, when he wasn't constantly dealing with a villain, always made me feel comfortable. But ever since Rainbow was destroyed, Funny destroyed as well, he fell into the darkness and harmed the Steves. He never smiled the same, and his smiles became rarer and rarer each day before he left. I feel bad that I had treated him so poorly at the Rainbow Kingdom, but I had my duty as the antithesis to darkness to protect the Steves. Maybe that was the reason I created and led the Colorist Guard, to make sure no one else was left like Saber was. M walks over and starts to untangle me from my warm prison, the bags under his eyes a lot less visible now. Thankfully, he took my urging to sleep in his bed and didn't immediately wake up to do work.
I heard Time came with you. How is he doing?
M asks me with his soft voice as I let out a small sigh, the memory of Saber in the back of my mind.
He is doing all right. Still has some memory problems at times, but seems to have remembered almost everything now.
He also wears the mask even though the crack has filled up. It does act like a scar, like you had said, I say quietly as M finally frees me from my blanket and cape. I pull my right knee up to my chest and lay my chin on it. The tiredness from staying up all night still lingered. That's good, I guess. Means over time, it'll disappear. I also heard about the person who was captured last night. I don't suppose you know anything more than just hearing someone was captured. M asks me with a curious look in his eye, and I shake my head. I had heard about it, but hadn't had the time to ask Time about it, since he said he chased the person all the way here.
I was going to ask him, once he was back from doing my rounds, what time is it anyways? I ask as I glance towards the clock above Time's bed. Bastard of light, it's already 2 in the afternoon! I facepalm and groan for sleeping so long. I had came to check on Time around 6 in the morning, since that was our agreed time we would wake each other up. So I had been sleeping for a solid 8 hours. Well, who's the hypocrite for not sleeping now? M says with a mischievous grin, and I flop back down on my bed. It only takes M a moment before he flops himself onto my stomach and causes me to let out a grunt, as I wasn't prepared for him doing that. It was one of the mutual things we did. Whenever I would visit the Red Kingdom, or whenever M would visit the Yellow or Orange Kingdoms, we would spend time together just lounging around. It was like we were brothers from our experiences. You're colder than normal, Light, M mumbles from his draped position across my stomach. I shrug and place my hands behind my head. I wonder why I'm feeling colder and colder with each passing day.